It's two great monster trucks, guys that are veterans in the sport and know what it's all about. We're talking, of course, about David Morris, the Equalizer, out of Springfield, Tennessee, and the world champion, Fred Schaefer's Barefoot from Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Freddie qualified first with a time of 7 seconds. Fred Schaefer, the granddaddy of them all. He started one of the original monster trucks and has been running them since the mid-70s. And now we're set, Equalizer and Barefoot. And this is what they have to maneuver. Watch the green light up in the upper right-hand corner for the start. And there we go. Riding in the front of Barefoot. Side by side, Barefoot has some problems. And Barefoot, 7.18 to Equalizer 7.50, but did he stay on the course? Let's look. He must keep both tires over the cars at all times on the approach. I'm not sure he did it there. I'm not sure that Fred Schaefer, no, he didn't. When he approached that first ramp, he did not do it. Second set of cars, first ramp, Fred Schaefer's all over the place. The tire was not on the cars. They're going to call that a minor infraction. The United States Hot Rod Association has ruled that a minor infraction. Fred Schaefer loses it. And this is where it happened. Look, he goes off to the side. The tire's not on the ramp. He straightens up here, but it's too late. He must have approached that ramp with both tires over the cars. Equalizer, he had a great run. Not as fast as Barefoot, but David Morris was able to keep it on the track. You can see it right there. So Equalizer gets lucky, picks up the win, thanks to Barefoot's minor infraction.
This is definitely not the kind of victory that I savor. I like to win fair and square. So here's some advice, Barefoot. Next time, keep your wheels on the ground and give the Equalizer an opportunity to beat you in a test that's just and true. I'll be waiting for my chance at a rematch.
The two trucks staged right now, Barefoot and Equalizer. Let's see what makes them tick. The Barefoot Dodge, the world champion, is powered by a Keith Black Hemi Dodge, putting out 1,500 horsepower. The Chevy Equalizer, powered by 1,200 plus horses. He's about 150 pounds heavier. It's not going to be horsepower that wins it for Equalizer. It's going to be driving skill. That's what it's all about here in Lebanon Valley.
Here's your chance, Barefoot. Once you do the right thing and stay on course. It's not going to matter, though, because it's my destiny to defeat you. All things being equal this time, the Equalizer shall be victorious. That I vow.
The trucks are staged for race number 1 of round number 2. Barefoot and Equalizer, green light, there they go. Barefoot has problems from the very start, and Equalizer opens up and goes for the win. But what happened to the world champion? Look at this, he's still running the race. 8.49 for Equalizer, 10.66 for Barefoot. Fred Schaefer has all sorts of problems. Maybe it was the mind game from the earlier infraction. Maybe he wanted to make sure he stayed on the track. Maybe it was a power problem. I don't know what was going on, but definitely Barefoot did not have things ready and dialed in for this matchup with the Equalizer. He not only didn't get any air, he's crawling over the cars. And David Morris gets the first win of the night in that very tough left-hand lane. He's down in the pits with Jim Davidson.
David Morris, did you figure out something a lot of people have been trying to do? Is that left lane better than the right lane?
The left lane is definitely better than the right because the right one's on an angle because of the way the track's built. So if I had my choice, I'd like to be in that left lane.
Well, you had your choice, and you put Fred Schaefer and the Barefoot over in the right lane. Tell me about the run.
Okay, I'm basically trying to go over that dirt hill, you know, full throttle, and just let the truck ride down like it's in a wheelie, and then feather it back over the first jump so that I'm in control, that I can really hammer it toward the last jump.
Okay, you're mashing it. How fast are you going before you hit that last set of cars?
Well, I'm not really sure, Jim. You know how fast I'm going. I'm just going as fast as I can possibly go.
No time to look down at the speedometer?
No time.
Matchup, Taurus and Equalizer. Taurus, driven by Eldon DePew, and the Equalizer with David Morris aboard. Morris has done extremely well so far tonight. Can he do it again against Taurus?
So it's down to this, Taurus. A face-off against someone I thought was my friend. Well, I hope you cooperate and allow me to fulfill my destiny. But now I'll have to bring an end to your outlaw ways. Nothing spurs me on more than defeating you, Equalizer. The next frontier for me is the finals. I've got a bullet with your name on it, and I'm gonna shoot to kill.
Let's do it, cowboy.
We are staged. It's race time. Taurus and Equalizer. Equalizer and Taurus side by side. They come off. Now it's straightaway time, and Taurus gets the win. David Morris and the Equalizer had lots of handling problems. 7.03 for Taurus, 7.33 for Equalizer. Equalizer was doing well here. He had no problems whatsoever. This seemed to be what threw him off. He went sideways, bounced around a little bit, the rear end bottomed out, and that threw him sideways. Taurus took advantage of it. He moves on to the finals. And we are ready for race number one, round number one, between Taurus, the guy that made it to the finals last week in New York, Jack Willman Jr. qualifying first. He goes against David Morris and the Equalizer. And David Morris has his work cut out for him as he faces Taurus.
Equalizer, I'm riding high as one of the fastest qualifiers, so steer clear of me.
Steer clear? Taurus, I'll steer you right out of the race. That's what I'll do, and show the others that your kind of competitor can easily be shot down.
Go ahead, Equalizer, make my race.
All right, we are staged and set to go. Taurus and Equalizer. Equalizer telling us he had some problems with his oil pressure in qualifying, but whoa! What a race that was! Look at this, 0.02 of a second separate Equalizer and Taurus, and Equalizer gets the win. I couldn't see it. Let's see if we can pick it up now on the replay. Here's where he powers out, and yes, he does make it past Taurus, but very, very close. The camera tells the tale on that one. Our next matchup pits Taurus against the Equalizer. Yes, a rematch of what we saw in round number one. And Equalizer and David Morris still having oil pressure problems. But you remember, he smoked Jackie Wellman and Taurus in round number one. And now, the rematch. Can Taurus, the lighter truck, hold on and pick up a win? Or is David Morris, oil pressure problems and all, going to be able to make it 2 in a row? You might say this is the battle of the former world champions. Equalizer was the world champ in '89. Taurus had it in 1991. They've been arch rivals throughout the years.
I'm pistol fed. The Westwood won in a day, and I'll be riding high after running the Equalizer straight out of town.
Taurus, how about low riding? I showed you who's boss in round one. Now it's time for a repeat performance. Hiya!
Well, okay. Then you better get ready for the ride of your life.
We are set to go, tread to tread. It's Taurus 1 win, Equalizer 1 win. This will be the tiebreaker for early in the season. There they go. Equalizer with a little quicker reaction time, first off the line and first across the finish line. Equalizer, that doesn't seem like a truck with oil pressure problems to me. But this may have cost Taurus some problem. Look at him there, almost a false start. Equalizer takes advantage of that, smashes down on that big accelerator, and he's first off the line. Now, Taurus had a good run, there's no doubt about it, but he was about a half second behind Equalizer on the starting line, and Equalizer picks up the win. He moves on to the semifinals. Jim Davidson's with David Morris. Let's check on those oil pressure problems in Equalizer.
The Rocky Mountain saga continues. Maybe you ought to run without oil pressure all the time.
I have no idea what's holding this motor together. We've put some additive in it. It's a Lucas Oil additive, and I guess that's the only thing that's holding this motor together.
Well, you just beat Taurus for the second time tonight, and you did it in a handicap position.
Yeah, that's right. When I went to the line that time, I had exactly 0 oil pressure, and like I said, I guess it's the Lucas stabilizer. There's nothing else can hold it together.
And we're brought it down to the top 4 trucks in the world. David Morris's Equalizer comes into stage right now. And who is he going to face in this semifinal action? None other than Dennis Anderson. Gravedigger fans love this truck. The red headlights are on. Now, both these trucks are very competitive. Average time for Equalizer 5.37 on this course to Gravedigger's 5.46. Yes, that's a little less than 1/10 of a second in average time between these two trucks. The Gravedigger and Dennis Anderson with the camera inside. Let's go up and in the cockpit and see what's going on with the big boy from North Carolina.
All right, baby, we got to do it. Because old David, he's going to bury that thing for all it's worth, man.
And I know Dennis Anderson, he'll do the same. We are staged, waiting for the green light. Who's going to go to the finals?
Equalizer, step down. The deliverer of devastation has found a new victim. Thought you could outsmart me? Well, as you know, misery loves company.
Who do you think's going to win this matchup, Equalizer or Digger? We'll all know in less than 6 seconds from right now. There they go, side by side. Equalizer has a slight lead, and Digger seems to come from behind. Who won it? I couldn't tell from that perspective. Dennis Anderson, you're up in the cab. You were right there in the front. Who do you think won that race, you or Equalizer?
I don't know. That was tight.
Well, Dennis, we have a camera on the finish line, and the results are clear. The win goes to the Gravedigger. The Equalizer did his very best. David Morris took the Equalizer truck to heights that it probably has never, ever been before, but he could not catch the Digger tonight. Equalizer has a whole week to work on those oil pressure problems. Our next matchup between two great monster trucks with a lot of fans, Carolina Crusher will face the Equalizer.
Equalizer! I've got a massive crush on you, and the mess I'm gonna make will be loads of fun. I'll tear up the track, and you along with it. Yeah, we'll crush this. So you think you're my equal? You'll discover the truth soon enough. Stick around, Crusher. Maybe you'll learn a lesson or two of what it takes to be a real winner.
Carolina Crusher comes up the stage for his big matchup with Equalizer. Gary Porter making sure the truck is in perfect position for the start of this race. Meanwhile, as they stage, let's go back and take a look at Equalizer's qualifying run. He was in that left-hand lane with that right turn. A bounce over the hill, he straightens out, goes around into the turn. See the rear tires? They turn around and then come right back to center as he hits the cars dead on and sails across. That's how to get a great run out of that left-hand lane. Now David Morris is over in the more friendly right-hand lane, and Gary Porter's stuck over in the left. This may make a difference in the outcome of this matchup. The trucks are staged. We wait for the green light, and there they go. They take off like rockets, guys. This is the Astrodome, not Houston Mission Control. Equalizer first into the turn. Watch Carolina Crusher has to back out of it to make the turn. Equalizer opens up the lead, and the win goes to Equalizer. Equalizer and David Morris take advantage of the right-hand lane with that left-hand turn, and he gets the victory over the Carolina Crusher. With David Morris's skill in driving, this just may be Equalizer's night. Let's kick it back to Monster Control and Luann. Thank you, Luann. Boy, these two trucks have thrilled this crowd so far, and now they're matched up. The 10,200-pound Equalizer from Springfield, Tennessee, going against the Michigan truck, Alan Pizzo's Predator. Predator weighs a little lighter than Equalizer. They're both coming up the stage. Now you know which guy has the preferred lane. It's David Morris, Equalizer.
What shall I do today to make the Predator pay? Maybe I'll show him a little double trouble. And give this black cat some bad luck of his own.
Wow! Aha! Equalizer! When I get finished with you, they'll scratch you off the list. Because I've got a ferocious, appetite. And once I get you in my grasp, I'll savor the victory.
They're staged. Let it happen. at the start. Equalizer cuts a great light. Predator is caught napping. He's going to have to work hard to catch the Equalizer. Into the turn. Equalizer's first there. They come around. Equalizer turns it on. He buries the Predator. David Morris drives the Equalizer to victory and drives Predator down into the ground and out of the competition.
David, a great run against Alan Pizzo and the Predator. You put him away. You took the right lane. He's in the left lane. How important is lane choice to you?
Lane choice is going to be real important because I want to get that left-hand turn where I can see where I'm going.
Now tell me about the run against the Predator.
Okay, I just had to go real hard over those dirt mobiles, but not too hard so I could get the control to make the turn at the end.
He will face the winner of our second semifinal round. Matchup between Equalizer and the Gravedigger. The Gravedigger and Dennis Anderson have done a super job all night long.
Equalizer, you're going to a place where the sun never shines. A place where the good and the bad turn ugly.
Ooh. Try bailing yourself out of this one, Gravedigger. The harm you've caused to others will come back on you twofold. First, I'll beat you, then send you to a fiery hell. It's time for you to pay your respects.
The two heavy metal monsters come to stage for our second semifinal round, one knowing they're going to the finals, the other one to the showers. The Gravedigger, Dennis Anderson, average time of 13.85 seconds on this track tonight, and Equalizer, an average time of 15.83. David Morris powering the Equalizer, and Dennis Anderson up in the cockpit of Gravedigger. Both trucks want this win very, very badly. Who's going to do it? Who will take on Invader in our finals? There they go! Pretty even at the start. Equalizer with a bit of a lead. We follow Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger up and around. They go into the turn, and Equalizer has the lead. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer takes out the Digger. And remember, Equalizer did it in the left-hand lane. He goes a little wide into the turn, but he powers out and takes out the Digger. Our final will be between the Equalizer and the Invader. And we'll have that matchup when we come back. It's come down to the finals with the truck that really shouldn't be here, Invader. Invader has had a tough night tonight. He lost to Taurus. He lost in round 2 to Barefoot. And then Barefoot could not start. He defeated Taurus in the semifinals. Equalizer and David Morris has been plugging on all night long. He defeated Carolina Crusher, then took out the Predator, and finally, the Gravedigger in the semis. He's worked his way up, and now he faces Invader, and there they go! Invader with a great hole shot. Equalizer has a little bit of a lead, and now Invader takes the lead. Going into the turn, they're neck and neck. And oh, Invader turns it over! Equalizer gets the win! Equalizer wins! Ray Perkowski turns the Invader over! He's working his way out of the truck. He's okay. He's okay, but he lost the race, and he is one upset driver. Invader had a good shot at taking out the Equalizer and winning it all. And then the dreaded turn. The left lane gremlin strike right here. And he turns the Invader over. Equalizer is gone. He's out of there. Invader is still rolling. The front windshield comes out. Equalizer, David Morris wins in the Houston Astrodome.
Well, all right. This is where I belong, at the top. And while I'm here, I'd like to thank those responsible, like my good old chap Taurus. And of course, Gravedigger for stepping down a few notches. Oh, and how can I forget Invader? And his lack of expertise powered him right out of the race. Thank you, one and all. Hey-ya!
Did we have a great show for you or what? The crowd is on their feet in Houston, and rightfully so. This was a dynamite race from start to finish. Our finals, Invader and Equalizer. Both trucks, neck and neck. Equalizer first into the turn, Invader playing catch-up, and then, whoa, the rollover. And Equalizer takes it on home. Jim's with our winner.
Oh, David, what a final. You up against the Invader. It was a great race. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, I'm going down through the dirt mobiles trying to preserve the truck. I feel like I can take the win if I can just get down there and get around that turn and then just matter for everything she's got.
At any point in time, did you know that Ray had actually turned his over?
No, I had no idea, you know, until the race was up, well, I got to the other end. I turned around, looked, whoops, he's upside down.
Well, listen, man, I think I'd have been looking in the rearview mirror to see where he was.
No, you know, I'm just worried about getting across that finish line first.
Well, it's got to make you feel good that he was working so hard to catch your backside that he actually rolled it.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to take a win any way you can get them.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
We prepare for race number 1. Kodiak will face Equalizer. Kodiak is driven by Mark Bendler. He qualified 8th, the time 3.89 seconds. Now, Equalizer and David Morris qualified 3rd with 3.52. You can see there's not much of a gap between these trucks in qualifying. Bendler takes Kodiak up to the starting line to stage for race number 1. All systems are go. He looks over at the competition. Last week's winner, Equalizer. And the question is, can Equalizer be our first 2-time winner back-to-back on Monster Wars?
I'm getting a bit hot under the collar. And when we ignite in the next race, Kodiak, you're going back, way back to the backwoods where you belong.
The trucks are staged. The U.S. Hot Rod official waits to give them the green light. Thumbs up from both drivers. We are ready. Bendler gets a hole shot, but Equalizer comes from behind. Kodiak had the hole shot, but Equalizer had the power, came from behind, and won it. Equalizer takes our first win in Jacksonville. Equalizer took it easy off that first set of cars, and then it was airborne as he sails across the finish line. Kodiak had the great start, and it was almost as if he backed out of it right here. This is where Equalizer catches him in the air. Round 2, race 2 action about to begin. The Predator truck is Alan Pizzo's creation. The cat-like features ready to pounce on Equalizer. Equalizer, Predator, combined weight over 20,000 pounds. We're talking about over 3,000 horsepower, ready to thrill this crowd here at the Gator Bowl. The green light will give us the go. Thumbs up for Equalizer, thumbs up from Predator. There they go! Side by side, Equalizer takes out Predator. Predator seems to have problems. Predator seemed to have some problems after that first set. The Equalizer is going to the semis.
Oh, yeah! Well, what did I tell you? I'm the one to watch, and as my competitors are finding out, it takes a lot more than hot air to make me run out of steam.
With a puff of smoke, Equalizer is up in the air, guns it again, and takes it across the finish line. He's going to the semifinals. And Invader takes on the Equalizer. Ray Perkowski driving the Invader, ready for the semis. He looks over to see the Equalizer. David Morris taking the Equalizer to task.
When we collide, you'll crumble, Invader. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
I crumble, Crusher, and I'll shock everyone else when I take out Equalizer completely!
The monsters are staged for the semifinals. Invader, Equalizer. Ray Perkowski turning in an average time of 4.27. Equalizer's 3.82 seconds, considerably faster. But things change in monster truck racing. And can Equalizer make it 3 in a row? We'll find out. Ray Perkowski doesn't think it's going to happen. He wants to be in the finals. The two trucks sit on the starting line, waiting for the green light. It's thumbs up and showtime! Side by side in the pulls it out. Equalizer pulls it out with just a scant hundredths of a second between the two of them. Equalizer's in the finals.
Invader gave it his best shot, and I shot him right out of the race. It's time to make another star. Dust.
This track belongs to David Morris here in Florida. He knows how to drive this course up and over, and he is in the finals. Equalizer just running great. Invader has problems on the starting line. The bounce is where it happens. He doesn't have the horsepower to go against Equalizer. Something's wrong with that big Ford.
David, congratulations on a semifinal victory over Invader. Tell me about that one. You seem to keep picking the left lane. I know you like this straight line course, but I guess you favor that left lane.
Right, you know, everybody takes their pick over the lanes, and I feel like I can run better in the left lane, you know, so that's one I'd like to stick with.
Okay, you've beaten Kodiak, you've beaten Predator, you've beaten Invader. Now you're going into the finals. It'll either be Barefoot or Taurus, and both those guys were up there in the points last year, 1 and 2.
Right, you know, Barefoot or Taurus, it doesn't matter which one of them you have to run because both those guys are, you know, tough racers.
They are lined up and ready to go. Barefoot and Equalizer. How did Barefoot get here? Well, he had to do a lot of work. He took out First Blood in round number 1, Tropical Thunder in number 2, and defeated Taurus in the semis. Equalizer. He went against Kodiak in round number 1 and came out on top, then Predator in number 2 and took out the Invader in the semifinals. And now it's down to these 2 trucks. We started with 10, we've brought them down to 2, and in just a few moments, we'll find out who's going to reign victorious, number 1 in Jacksonville, Florida. Barefoot and Equalizer. Both trucks are staged waiting for the green light. It is showtime! Is Equalizer off the line? Barefoot battles back! Who won it? Side by side, they go across the finish line. We've seen close matchups here tonight, but this final was something. I'm going to have to see the replay. On the finish line, Barefoot. Barefoot may have had him by inches. Equalizer with that lead right on the early start. Barefoot battles back, and yes, Barefoot is first across the line. Barefoot gets the win. A tough break for Equalizer.
In this particular race, Barefoot got the best of me and rose to the top. But come next week, the others will wish they never came face to face with me at all.
What a war we've seen here today. The winner, Barefoot.
Our 5th and final race of round number 1 pits Rambo and Equalizer. This could be a barn burner. David Morris handles the driving duties in Equalizer. Bill Weaver Jr. up in Rambo. Equalizer and David Morris have been doing a super job on the season. We have not yet had an opportunity to see Rambo on Monster Wars. But let me tell you something. This guy lives up to the name Rambo. He clears out the cylinders. We are set for a matchup between Rambo and Equalizer. They wait for the green light off the line. Equalizer with a little bit of a hole shot. They go into the turn. David Morris is an expert on this. Rambo has a bit of a problem. He has to slow down. Equalizer makes short work of one of the top trucks in the country. Equalizer smokes Rambo. David Morris takes the Equalizer to a win. He's got to be one happy man right now.
Yeah! I made Rambo run for cover. I thought it would be a rocky race, but oh, no problem. We're squaring off again in the second round, and when we do, I'll make sure that race is no cliffhanger. Hey, on the sly, I want to take Rambo prisoner for good, and I will. Yeah!
You know, we talked at the beginning of the show how horsepower was everything, but took the driver to make the turn. David Morris, watch him work. This is masterful. The turn was easy for him, and so was the win.
I'm here with David Morris, who pilots the Equalizer. David, this is a tough track, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We got a real tight turn here, and along with that tight turn, you got a whole lot of speed, and you got to compensate the turn for the speed that you're going there. And when you go into that turn, you're going pretty fast, and you're either going to slide around it or tip over.
Like Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger, did.
Right.
Did that scare you at all, seeing what happened to him on that turn?
No, not really. You know, you just got to go out there and race. You can't be scared, and I just, you know, you got to take it, whatever comes.
And up to stage comes Rambo. Bill Weaver Jr. up in Rambo. And his competitor, well, he's going to face the Equalizer in competition in round number 2, race number 4.
Woo! Rambo, this next race is going to be action-packed. The very thought of losing to a mercenary like you makes my stomach turn. The only shoot 'em up and bang-bang you're gonna see in this race is the exhaust from my engine as it's hightailing across the finish line. Eat your heart out, Stallone. Yeah!
3 of the 4 trucks will be for our semifinals. We're about to find out the 4th, Equalizer or Rambo. Now, Rambo, piloted by Bill Weaver Jr., is the heavier of the two, 14,000 pounds, powered by a 1,400 horsepower Chevy. Equalizer weighs in at 10,200 pounds. He has 1,300 horses, but he's much lighter. And the lighter you are, the faster you'll go. And that's what it's all about in monster truck racing. Not so much car crushing, but monster truck racing. They want to go fast. They want to stay on the car. You're in the air, you're not winning. Even going down the straightaway, this is where the weight problem comes into effect. Equalizer, much lighter, makes it around the turn. Rambo really has to work to make it, and Equalizer gets the win. You could see Rambo bouncing around after the finish. Again, the weight factor. He's got down the straightaway. Rambo and Equalizer. The turns where it all happens. Equalizer flowing smoothly, looking almost like liquid. Rambo is just bouncing around, wobbling, takes a lot of time. Equalizer's up and over. And Rambo, he's doing a bouncy bounce. Equalizer waves to the crowd. He's going to the semifinals.
Well, all right. I knew I could match Rambo's rage. He tried to invade my territory, but I stood a firm ground and put him off target. Rambo, it's the jungle out there, baby, so take my marching orders and get lost. Now, maybe it's time that I became a terrible twosome and killed him with my kinetic kindness. Overkill? Baby, you're over and done. This next win is going out to me.
The Monster Wars Invitationals. The best monster trucks in the world have been invited. We're down to the final 4. And now we're going to bring them down to 2. Maximum Overkill and Equalizer are lined up. Overkill, driven by Jerry Richmond, average time 10.52 seconds. David Morris has piloted the Equalizer with an average time of 9.52. 10,000-pound monster trucks putting out over 1,400 horsepower. But it's going to be who can tame that 1,400 horsepower and make it around that hairpin turn without a problem that wins it. Overkill and Equalizer, they are staged. They wait for the green light. And it's showtime at the Pontiac Silverdome. On the line, Equalizer with a slight hole shot. And now the important hairpin turn, Equalizer and Overkill. Overkill goes wide. Equalizer battles back and wins it. With a 1/10 of a second lead, your winner is Equalizer. These are the best drivers in the world, but even the best make a mistake sometime, and that's what cost Jerry Richmond his win. He did not have his truck lined up when he approached the cars, made him go high. When you're going high and you're going up, you're not going forward. That cost him about a 1/10 of a second. You can see it on the replay. Equalizer stays low, Overkill goes high. Equalizer gets the win. So we know that Equalizer is in the finals here in Pontiac.
Woo, yeah! I made short work of Maximum Overkill. He tried to drive it home, but hey, somewhere he took a wrong turn. Well, I'm not at all worried about Bigfoot or Barefoot. I'll size them both up.
And getting to the finals was no easy task. Bigfoot had a bye run in round 1, then defeated Taurus and Barefoot. Equalizer, he had to take out Rambo twice and then Maximum Overkill. but getting here is only part of it. You have to get the win. And both these trucks know a whole lot about winning. Bigfoot was our fastest qualifier, but David Morris drives the Equalizer faster each time he goes around this track. As they come up the stage, it's anybody's guess as to who our winner will be. Their stage, the green light, and Equalizer is first off the line. Bigfoot is catching up. They go into the turn. Equalizer takes it around. Bigfoot takes it around. But Bigfoot is powering up. Bigfoot gets the win. Bigfoot wins it in Pontiac. 8.92 seconds, a new track record. Your champion is Bigfoot. And Equalizer can't believe he lost this race.
I was hoping for the thrill of victory. Well, now I'm suffering the agony of defeat. Big feet. This is it, Bigfoot. You may have won this one, but I'm a sold man, baby. This is our first meeting today, Predator, and I want you to know, in my book, you don't have any animal rights, and I'm going to leash on you a win if it's the last thing I do, Predator.
Equalizer! I'm gonna run circles around you till the time is right, and then I'm gonna come in for the kill!
We're back with round one, race two. Predator, the brand new truck, going against the 1989 designed Equalizer. And Equalizer did qualify 8th. Alan Pizzo took the Predator to a very respectable 3rd in qualifying. They are staged as we await the green light at Lebanon Valley for race number 2. There it is! A puff of smoke, and Predator seems to have some problems, and now he turns it on! Alan Pizzo takes the Predator to a win! This race was not won at the start. It was won on the straightaway. Beginning now, Alan Pizzo lands properly, puts his foot in it, and never stops until he makes it through the finish line, and Equalizer's about a half second behind. Equalizer took a bad hop. The truck is an older truck and just is not as comfortable with the type of jumps we're seeing here. Predator had it all. Our 4th and final race of round 2 will pit Barefoot against Equalizer.
All right, I was a little shaky at the start, but that doesn't mean I won't obtain a solid victory. So watch out. I'm proof positive round 2 will be brighter and better. I guarantee it. Rah!
Monster Wars action continues here at Lebanon Valley Raceway in New York. Equalizer and Barefoot are lined up. In the middle, when the light turns green, it's showtime. Inside Equalizer, David Morris gives a thumbs up. The start. Equalizer with a bad hop in that outside lane. Barefoot is there. Barefoot, a decided victory over Equalizer. And the curse of the outside lane gets another one. David Morris can't believe it. The outside lane just seems to be sending all the trucks skyward, making them hop over that first set of cars and land poorly. Barefoot takes advantage of that, and he's already across the finish line as David tries to hobble over the cars. This is David Morris's bumpy ride. You can see the margin of victory for Barefoot. He's way out there. Equalizer is done.
You have not heard the last from me. It's unbelievable that I'm a double loser. I was flabbergasted when I lost to Predator in round 1, and even more amazed that I took a backseat to Barefoot. What are these guys trying to do, hurt my reputation? Well, I will not get discouraged. Now, they deserve a good tussle, and I'm the one who will give it to them.
The action continues as Equalizer prepares to meet Monster Patrol.
Monster Patrol. Monster Patrol is a rookie! But should rookies get special treatment? I think not.
This first-timer wants to play in the big leagues with the big boys. He'll have to learn the hard way. A newcomer. What are you gonna bring to the table, a winning attitude? Well, that's very noble of you, but will that overcome inexperience? Not if I can help it. You'll never be able to overcome the experience you're about to have with the Equalizer.
Round 1 action, race number 4, Monster Patrol and Equalizer. Monster Patrol with David Morris at the helm qualified 4th. Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer, the world champion mud racer turned monster truck driver, qualified 9th. Equalizer has got to be thinking it's going to be an easy win over the rookie, but I got news for him. This guy has learned very, very quickly. And David Morris, don't count Monster Patrol out. Thumbs up as we wait for the green light. There they go. Monster Patrol with the hole shot. Monster Patrol has learned something. He's learned that you mash it quick and you stay on it. He defeats the Equalizer. An upset. It happened on the starting line. I don't know whether David Morris was asleep or not, but Monster Patrol took advantage of the green light, and then he kept his foot in it all the way across the cars.
Digger, you stand for everything I don't believe in. Despair, and defiance. Those are the finer things in life and death. Equalizer, I'm your worst enemy. Say goodbye. This race will be your swan song. Swan song? Talk is cheap, baby. My dearest Digger, let me give you a few words of advice. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. I'm coming head on to win, baby. So Gravedigger, watch out.
Welcome to round 2 at the Nassau Coliseum, and what a matchup we have this time. Equalizer and Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson up in the cab of Gravedigger eyeballs the Equalizer. And watch this, the red headlights are not on. This could signify a problem in Gravedigger the fans have come to expect. The big red headlights to be on in that truck. They are lined up, they're staged, the green light. Digger with a hole shot. David Morris was caught napping. The Gravedigger, no problem there. A half-second lead over Equalizer. Digger had it won from the start. You cannot be caught napping in monster truck racing short course style. Unfortunately, Equalizer was.
The action's just starting on Monster Wars, and out of the pits comes the boy from Tennessee. David Morris takes on Tropical Thunder in this matchup, and both drivers know they need the points on this win. Equalizer qualified 10th and only picked up 1 point. Tropical Thunder was 5th in qualifying, and he got a whopping 5 points for that one. And now, it's ready to go racing time. No qualifying here. This is all-out racing. They face each other off the line. Tropical Thunder takes a bad bounce. Equalizer seems to be in control. Tropical Thunder has been really struggling this season, and Equalizer has been sailing through these races. And it looks as though he may actually lap Tropical Thunder as he just limps over the second set of cars. Equalizer's having to back off because he's going to run up Tropical Thunder's tail here. Wayne Smolzanek has lots of problems. I'm not sure what they are, but he's a full 7 seconds behind Equalizer. Equalizer, your winner in New Orleans. Equalizer was in control of this race from the start. Tropical Thunder took a bad hop, and that was all she wrote. Equalizer opened up a very, very big lead, had to back off before he finished the race so he didn't run into Tropical Thunder's rear. Round number 1, race number 1. The matchup between Carolina Crusher and Equalizer as we prepare to do battle on Monster Wars.
Oh, Crusher! It's our first matchup today! And you can bet it will be your last, baby! I've worked too hard and too long to let a degenerate like you get in the way of my winning, baby! Yeah! Equalizer, you've stepped way over the line! And now your gas is grass! Crusher Mania has arrived! And when I bulldoze you, you won't know which way is up!
Two big monsters work their way to the starting line. Very important where you stage in monster truck racing, especially on a straight line track like this one. In qualifying, Gary Porter picked up 7 points for his third fastest qualifying time. Equalizer qualified 8th. He got 2 points for that one. And now it's race time, side by side with green light. Carolina Crusher puts out some smoke. Carolina Crusher has the lead, but Equalizer comes from behind. Crusher seemed to put out some smoke, and that cost him the win. I think he lost power. He may have lost the whole side of that engine. Something definitely was wrong with Carolina Crusher. You can see smoke coming out of one whole side, the left side of the engine. That is not good. Many times they're just blowing out fuel on the early part, but he smoked every time he managed on the engine. He's got some power problems. Alan Pizzo obviously got the problems with Predator fixed as he comes around to stage for race number 4 of our second round. He'll go against Equalizer.
Woo! I'll commandeer a victory by putting this pussycat in my hat. Predator hasn't met his match until he's met the Equalizer. And I've got a special soul-searching plan just for him. It's a hairy little lesson that'll cost him his life. Yay! All 9 of them.
The crowd is screaming for more Monster Wars. We're bringing it to you. Equalizer is in the right-hand lane, the lane that's given everybody problems tonight as he eyeballs Predator. The matchup, 10,200 pounds for Equalizer, 1,300 horses. It's a Chevy. 10,010 pounds for Predator, 1,800 horses. A whole lot more horsepower, and he's in the left-hand preferred lane.
You're a blundering fool, Equalizer. If you think your good force is going to impact me, I have the force of nature on my side. And I have many lives to live and during before I am finished. Wah!
Predator, you're about to lose 1 of your 9 lives now. You barely squeaked by Invader, and now you expect to give me a run for my money? Woo! You better have faith in your attack, because once you come at me, baby, and miss, you're done. I've made it this far for good reason, so watch out. Yeah.
Equalizer comes up to stage. David Morris knows this is the race to get him in the semifinals. Up in the cockpit, he checks everything out and then eyeballs the competition. And what competition that is. Predator, Alan Pizzo sitting there calm, cool, and collected, waiting for the green light. Their stage, they get a start. Side by side, Equalizer with a slight lead, and now Predator comes from behind, opens it up. It's all Predator. Equalizer could not win in that right-hand lane. Took a bad hop and lined up poorly against the cars.
I didn't get that damn last set of cars down right. I lost right.
David Morris is correct. He came off the first set of cars a little squirrely, out of shape. He goes into the second set. That's not what it takes to win a monster truck race against Predator, especially when you're stuck in that right-hand lane. The margin of victory, not a truck lane for Predator. They staged for the third race of the day. Tropical Thunder, driven by Wayne Smozanek, third fastest qualifier today, picked up 7 points for it. Against David Morris in the Equalizer. He was our 8th qualifier and got 2 points for that one. Equalizer and Tropical Thunder ready to go. They come up to the line, wait for the green light. Both are staged. It's showtime. Tropical Thunder with a little bit of an edge, and Equalizer comes from behind to win it. Equalizer comes from behind. Under 5 seconds on that run. No doubt about it, we'll see Equalizer in round 2.
Oh, baby, that was too close for comfort. But I managed to bolt past Tropical Thunder and show him a thing or two about the finer aspects of winning. In competition, whether it be big or small, I will rise above all to make everyone stand up and take notice. Yeah!
And 2 more stars coming out as we enter round number 2. Equalizer and Carolina Crusher.
I'm gonna squash your good soul with the sole of my foot, Equalizer. This competition, there's no room for a sissy like you. Come on, get with the program, or I'm gonna turn you right out of this race. Whip.
Squeeze this, baby! Do I sense some animosity, Crusher? Surely you don't expect me to play your childish game of bullying. Others may crumble, but I will always remain humble, and you, Crusher, I will send for a tumble.
Yeah! Tumbling down. Stick a fork in it, Equalizer. You're done.
The U.S. Hot Rod Association monster trucks are ready. Green light, and there they go. Equalizer with the hole shot. Equalizer holds on to it. A 0.3 of a second lead and a win for Equalizer. On the start, it was Equalizer, and Carolina Crusher just couldn't catch up all the way down the track. Equalizer's in the semifinals.
The semifinals are next, with the winners moving on to the finals. Predator will take on Tropical Thunder in one matchup, and Taurus squares off against Equalizer in another. If Taurus wins today, he can catapult past Barefoot and into second place in the Monster Wars standings. First, he's got to get past David Morris and the Equalizer, one of the toughest drivers on the Monster Wars circuit, with a world championship under his belt. But when he's down home in Tennessee, competition is put aside, and David Morris is a family man. Jim Davidson traveled to Nashville for a taste of Southern comfort, Equalizer style.
His competitors know him as the 1989 world champion, an opponent worth fearing. But David Morris, the force commanding the Equalizer, has another side his rivals rarely see.
Even though, you know, I'm a racer, and, you know, when I get home, I'm a normal family man. I have all my family values just like any working man.
When David has time away from the track, you can bet he'll be out in the country with his two favorite women, his wife Nancy and 3-year-old daughter Mallory.
When I'm not racing, I like to have fun with my family, you know, just go somewhere and just relax, just get away from racing.
This is what you work for, the days that we can spend together, just the three of us doing things together.
Only an hour outside of country music, Spain, Nashville, Tennessee, David grew up taking care of all the animals on his parents' 20-acre farm. Now one of his favorite pastimes is watching his own little girl enjoy the country life he cherishes.
Yeah, you think he's hungry?
Can I help feed him?
You think he's hungry?
He wants more now. Look, he's almost drank it all, Mallory.
Now, before David took the reins of a monster truck, he had plenty of hours on this mode of transportation.
Yeah, it's kind of a father-daughter thing, you know. We saddle the horses up and go riding on them, have a little fun together. Would you like to ride in a monster truck with me? You would? Would you want to go fast in the monster truck? You would? I bet that'd be fun too, wouldn't it? I'm a cowboy to a certain extent. Maybe I'm an urban cowboy. I like to, you know, ride horses, but, you know, really my main thing is a different kind of horsepower.
He's talking about the 1,400 horsepower that enabled the Equalizer to soar towards victory.
I love things that are fast. Remember when you was a little kid in school and you leaned your chair back on two legs and, you know, you didn't know whether you was going to fall or not? It's kind of like that the whole time.
David began his monster truck career in 1988 when he teamed up with truck owner Gary Cook.
I was tractor pulling, and I started building a monster truck, and he heard about it, and then a mutual friend of ours told him that we ought to get together, you know.
Yeah, I told him, even though I had never drove a truck before, I drove it in my mind 1,000,000 times just watching everybody else.
When we came out with the truck, it was the first full race truck of its type, and that was back in '88. It was completely different from anybody else's, and a lot of the guys looked at it and laughed, and then after we won a national championship in '89, they quit laughing.
Now the one they all laughed at is one of the fiercest competitors on the Super Series, and his championship status, well, it doesn't end on the racetrack.
I couldn't ask for a better husband or father for Mallory. He's the best.
We enjoy living in the country and being a little, you know, just a little country family, and I really wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, David Morris is no longer in the country, and no longer is he taking care of 1 or 2 horses. There's over 1,400 horses under the hood of Equalizer as he goes against Taurus in our semifinals. David Morris and the Equalizer.
Yes, I'm on the rise to supreme status, and I won't let a rough and unready cowboy scuff up my chance of winning big. Taurus, if you're listening, baby, come prepared, or spare your dignity and wallow in mediocrity.
Semi-final action at Tampa Stadium between Equalizer and Taurus. Taurus driven by Jack Willman Jr., former world champion. He wants to move on to the finals here at Tampa.
Whoa, here we are, big shot. You ready to face me? I'm a gallop away from the finals, and I'm not a kowtowing to nobody, especially you, Equalizer. Wow!
Kowtow? Why don't you take your cows and move along, baby? I told you who's boss. Now listen, enough is enough of your banner. Is this the jabber that's taught in the wild, wild west? You are a disgrace, Taurus.
When the whistle blows, you'll blow, Equalizer, and I'll rope in another win and trot on into the finals. That's what we learn on the frontier.
Oh, so listen up, Mr. Blazing Saddles. I won't dignify you with a response. Why don't you put your motor where your big mouth is, and let's begin the competition. Yeah!
Both trucks staging. When they're ready, they'll sit and wait for the green light. The first one to the other end of the track moves on to the finals. Equalizer and Taurus. Both are crowd favorites. Both are Chevy powered. But there are some subtle differences between these two trucks, with Equalizer weighing in at 10,200 pounds and pushing out 1,300 horses. And Taurus, just the bare minimum, 10,000 pounds, 1,200 horses. Both are Chevy powered, and both are favorites of the U.S. Hot Rod Association fans. Very, very important as the night progresses that the drivers find a sweet spot on the starting line. As the night progresses, things will dry out down there, and a lot of loose dirt will cause you to lose traction. Equalizer gets a good bite on the start, and he takes it the whole way. Equalizer has made it to the finals in Tampa, a full 1/10 of a second over Taurus. And the starting line is what caused the problem for Jack Willman. You can see Taurus was lifted up. Part of the tire bit, the other part didn't, and that caused him about a half second. That's all Equalizer needed for a win. Equalizer, a great start. He found a nice spot. In other words, I'm saying, friends, the left lane seems to be the favorite lane. If I were going to be in the final and Equalizer's going to be in there, I'd hope that I'll make it to that left-hand lane. It's come down to 2 monster trucks. The Cat-Hide Predator and the truck that's coming into the stadium right now, Equalizer. David Morris aboard Equalizer, Alan Pizzo in the Predator. How did Equalizer get here? Well, he's had a lot of wins tonight. He has taken out Tropical Thunder, Carolina Crusher, and Taurus in the semifinals. Predator lost to Kodiak in round number 1. With a little luck, came back as the fastest loser in round 2 to defeat Kodiak. And Tropical Thunder defeated him in the semis, but couldn't start. So Predator's in there.
Once again, I've clawed my way into the finals. Tropical Thunder was a wash. Maybe he got all swept up in the excitement, huh? And couldn't take the high pressure of the finals. Well, let's see what Equalizer's made of.
As they come to stage, very, very important to remember that the right-hand lane is where things are drying out on the starting line. Equalizer has taken the left-hand lane, the lane of choice tonight. So it's Equalizer and Predator waiting for the green light. This is our final, folks. Equalizer with a great start. Predator has to come from behind. He can't catch him. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer wins it in Tampa. Your winner, David Morris and the Equalizer.
Woo, yeah! The undisputed champion. And I did it the old-fashioned way. I earned it. And as part of my victory speech, I'd like to thank the following. Tropical Thunder for his blunders. Taurus You Boris and Predator, it's time for your catnap. Sweet dreams, losers. Woo!
Your champion here in Tampa is David Morris in the Equalizer, coming down to shake the hand of Alan Piso of the Predator. Predator had problems from the very start. The smoke coming from behind the truck is white. That signifies coolant. He could be very, very hot and could not generate enough horsepower to make it over the finish line first. Whatever it was, David Morris had what it took. A full truck length lead from the very start, and that's the way it finished. Equalizer is in the winner's circle in Tampa Stadium.
Congratulations, David, down here tearing things up in Tampa. I guess you had enough of keeping things close, decided to blow somebody out, huh?
Yeah, you know, right here at the finals, what you got to lose, you know, you just give her everything she's got and let her fly.
Okay, it's against the Predator. Tell me about the run.
You know, basically, like I said, I just give her everything she got because, you know, if I broke it, I broke it. It doesn't matter now, so I give her everything she had, take the win.
Well, it looked to me it was probably your best hole shot of the evening, really sitting on the light, weren't you?
Right, you know, I was making sure that I had everything down pat this time, and I just really, you know, nailed her to the wall.
But he's going up against one of the toughest in the business, the Equalizer.
Well, I'm all for getting your feet wet, but do I always have to be the one who teaches the rookie how to swim? This is the big leagues, baby, and a person should learn the basics before he takes the stage with me. Monster Patrol, do your soul searching on your own time. I got a race to win, and I mean business!
Trucks come to stage as round one continues. Let's see how they did in qualifying. Equalizer in the middle of the pack, qualified 5th. Paul Schaefer, Monster Patrol, still learning the course, still learning the truck. It's a new one. He's a rookie. He qualified 10th. From inside the truck, Monster Patrol red lights. Equalizer is waiting for it. Monster Patrol red lights, and David Morris, he started to head to the pits and then thought twice about it. He says, hey, if this guy red lighted, I just have to finish the course and I'm the winner. And Monster Patrol doesn't even know it. Monster Patrol's still racing and beating up his truck in the meantime. David Morris being a very, very smart veteran, and this is the difference between the rookie and the veteran. He jumped the light, and Monster Patrol, if he had realized that, he would have backed out of it and saved the equipment. But he's still racing. He doesn't know what happened. David Morris, the veteran, says, hey, I'll just take it easy. I won't beat up the truck, and I'll be able to move on as a winner to the next round. As he comes across the finish line very daintily, your winner, Equalizer. Took him almost a minute to do so. Paul Schaefer wanted so badly to win this, he didn't wait for the green light. And he DQs on the start. There's the red light. Here's Equalizer, a full second behind him. That's when the green light came. Monster Patrol was way far gone by then. Experience wins it for Equalizer.
Hey, Monster Patrol! Why don't you do yourself a favor, baby, and practice what I'm preaching? And next time, you might say face. Who's gonna try to get the best of me next? Predator? I know you're lurking in the distance. And when we meet, baby, I'll teach you a lesson in losing. You'll uncherish forever. Yeah!
So round two will begin with Equalizer and Predator. Predator got here when First Blood destroyed an engine in round number one, and Monster Patrol red lighted, so Equalizer advanced. And now these two guys get ready to go at it head to head.
Yeah, Predator, I forewarned you to stay clear of me. Tropical Thunder gave it his best shot to beat me, and I blasted him right out of the race. You're next, baby. Yeah!
Equalizer, keep your distance, because I've clawed my way this far, and I won't be satisfied till I'm making K-chow out of you. Because you're doomed.
The trucks are staged, running on asphalt. Predator takes off, but already Equalizer's opening up a lead. David Morris in the Equalizer in the outside lane is opening up a lead over Predator. David Morris, the shot from inside the truck. You can see how the drivers are bounced around. They approach the cars. Over goes Equalizer. Predator 2 seconds behind. And now Equalizer really turns it on. Cuts it very close into the turn. Goes wide now on the outside. And he is heading home. It is all Equalizer. Up and over. Equalizer. David Morris up in the cockpit being thrown all over. He wins it. After being only 5th in qualifying, David Morris has figured this track out. The first romp with Monster Patrol red lighted, and now David Morris comes out and shows us what Equalizer has. He's moving on to the semifinals.
Athlete's foot, I mean barefoot. I'm getting a bit hot under the collar, and when we ignite in this next race, I'm blowing off steam, baby, and sending you hobbling on your way. It's time to kick you to kingdom come. Yee-haw!
The semifinals between two great monsters, the former world champion Equalizer and the reigning world champ Barefoot. Barefoot, a brand new truck weighing into 10,000 plus pounds, 1,500 horses powered by Dodge. The Equalizer is a 1989 design. It's Chevrolet all the way. We'll view this race through the eyes of David Morris. And now Barefoot opens up a lead. David Morris inside the Equalizer getting a rough ride on the outside lane. We can see Barefoot opening up that lead. David Morris battles to try to catch up to him. Barefoot leaps in the air. Whoa, a tough landing for Equalizer. And now he's on the inside lane trying to catch the taillights of Barefoot, but it's too late. Equalizer can't do it. Barefoot is already over the finish line. Barefoot wins. He's in the finals, and Equalizer has lots of problems. Equalizer breaks at the end. There's smoke coming out of the engine. Barefoot wins it. Barefoot moves on to the finals here in Louisville. Barefoot up and over. Equalizer coming over, and if you think it's hard landing on dirt week in and week out, this week, these guys are landing on concrete. Barefoot just getting stronger and stronger, and Equalizer fading away. David Morris outside the Equalizer. He's going to have to be towed back into the pit. The big 10,000-pound monsters come out for our next race. This matchup will pit the Ford Liquidator against Equalizer when Monster Wars return.
You know, to be a bona fide competitor, one must learn to be genuine in every moment of life. And I'm genuine in saying, Liquidator, see you later, baby. You don't have the strength nor the ability to compete in my league. And after I split you in two, I'm going to own your soul. Yeah!
Our trucks come up to stage for this next race. Equalizer and UFO. UFO driven by Mike Wells, owned by Bob Fisher, who drives the UFO truck. And Equalizer, David Morris aboard. David Morris up from Springfield, Tennessee, comes to Nassau Coliseum. UFO out of Pensacola, New Jersey. These monster trucks generate anywhere from 1,100 to 1,500 horsepower. They're set, and it's showtime. Off the line, Equalizer with a great hole shot. Liquidator has to battle back. He takes it easy going into that turn. It's almost as if that rear steer's not quite operating properly. Equalizer's already over the cars, and he's heading home. A full half-track length lead for Equalizer, but he spins! He spins out! Equalizer spins out and stalls! Liquidator comes from behind to win it! The only truck that's not supercharged! Liquidator wins the race! And Equalizer gets started, but it's too late.
You know, I went into the battlefield firmly confident and fired up that I was going to be victorious, and I came back wounded. How embarrassing! Liquidator, you won, but tread lightly with this defeat. Because remember, you see the same people on the way up as you see on the way down. Yeah!
Equalizer had this race won, but he fell to the same problem that plagued Nightmare in the earlier matchup. He spins out on the far turn, and he's totally out of the action. So Liquidator, the underdog, will move on to round number 2 as a winner. Earlier in the show, Luann told you that the fastest losers, the top 3 fastest losers, get to come back. Here's 2 of them, Equalizer and Tropical Thunder. Now, you got to give the experience to Equalizer. He's got an edge here. Wayne Smozanek and Tropical Thunder, he's been working the last 2 or 3 years, but Equalizer has 8 years experience. Off the start, Equalizer does show good form. Tropical Thunder showing some great work. Oh, no! Tropical Thunder misjudges the turn. Equalizer takes advantage of that one, and Tropical Thunder falls way behind. Wayne Smozanek just isn't your day at Nassau Coliseum. Your winner is Equalizer with David Morris aboard. Look out! He thought he was still racing. He spins around. Equalizer does win it.
Well, once again, Tropical Thunder, you were a major blunder. Well, in life, baby, you gotta take care of yourself before you try and take care of an opponent. Obviously, Tropical Thunder needed to learn that lesson, and it cost him his life.
These big, high-horsepower machines do not turn on a dime, and Wayne Smozanek discovered that again as he is not lined up going into the turn. I'm not sure where he's heading here. It's definitely not on the race course. Meanwhile, the experience of Equalizer with David Morris aboard is evident here as he takes it home. Action continues with the Equalizer barefoot matchup. Equalizer hasn't answered the bell, and Fred Schaefer's upset.
Hey, you're supposed to put Morris on in 3 minutes. 3 minutes he's got. They're giving him. Okay, thank you.
Can he make it in 3 minutes? We'll find out when Monster Wars returns.
Oh, yeah! You know, fear has never held back a sincere champion from doing what he has to do to win. So, Barefoot, I'm about to do what I have to do to make sure that you go home one broken-foot soldier. I've got no plans to get kicked off this course, baby, by you, only to stop you in your tracks and send you hobbling on your way. Here.
Word from the pits is that Equalizer's been having oil pressure problems, but he does answer the call, and we will have a Chevy Dodge matchup. Barefoot and Equalizer. Barefoot with Fred Schaefer, qualified 6th, the world champion, doing it in 5.92 seconds. Second fastest qualifying time went to David Morris and Equalizer at 5.69. And now they're side by side. Equalizer definitely the underdog with those oil pressure problems. And on the start, he's giving the world champ a run for his money, but he can't do it. Barefoot wheelies between the cars. What an incredible run for the world champion Barefoot Dodge. The power behind this Keith Black Hemi, 1,500 horses. Any wonder that these monsters capable of 100 miles an hour are doing 60 to 65 miles in less than 200 feet? Taurus is at the starting line, but his competition Equalizer is still in the pits. Jim Davidson has the story.
Hey, David, you're second fastest loser, but you might not be coming back?
I ain't sure. Right now we don't have much oil pressure at all.
What are you doing over here in Jack's truck?
Borrowing some oil.
So after the race, you're going to give it back to him?
I guess.
That's it, baby.
All right.
Okay.
Now, this is something I've never heard before. Equalizer is borrowing oil from the Taurus team so he can run against Taurus.
On the frontier, neighbors help each other. But once the showdown begins, it's every cowboy for themselves. And it's getting too darn close to the finals to be horsing around. Dag nabbit, I want to wrangle and win. And I ain't subsiding till I'm riding high and mighty as numero uno.
Welcome back to Monster Wars, and after an infusion of oil from the Taurus race team, Equalizer does in fact get started, so he can run against Taurus. It's the final race of round 2.
You know, you really sat my high, Taurus. For your own good, get out while you still can. I've come too far to turn back. You're the only thing standing in my way, baby, to fulfilling my goals. And I'll have no problem tearing you up on the track. Yeah.
Oh, listen here, you darn do-gooder. I don't give one cow chip what you think about competition and goals. I'm sending you right out of Dodge. Equalizer, the heat is on.
As the monster stage, let's take a look at these two incredible monster trucks, Equalizer and Taurus. Equalizer weighs in at 10,200 pounds, 1,300 horses. It's Chevy power all the way with a GMC body. Now, Taurus is a brand new truck, 10,000 pounds, 1,200 horses, Chevy powered also. So it's all Chevy race day here at Pueblo, Colorado. Now, remember, Equalizer is running with oil borrowed from the Taurus race team. On the start, Taurus with a whole shot, but Equalizer comes. Look at this, Taurus dies on the track. Equalizer wins it. Holy mackerel, Andy. Equalizer wins it. And he borrowed the oil to get started from the Taurus race team. Taurus died after the jump. And he had to be thinking, and I loaned the guy the oil to come out and race me. Equalizer comes across the finish line, moves on, and Taurus, well, basically, he lost a transmission is what happened. He just rolls to a complete stop. No oil pressure problems there. Equalizer looking very, very strong. Matter of fact, as strong as I've seen him in a couple of weeks. A puff of smoke, and he's across the finish line. Equalizer heads back to the pits, and I'm not too sure who's going to loan him oil this time. Let's kick him. Welcome back to Monster Wars, and the semis are here. Barefoot goes against Equalizer, and just in case you're wondering, no, during the break, Equalizer did not borrow oil from Barefoot. Equalizer with David Morris aboard turned in an average time of 5.91 on this track. Barefoot, average time of 5.64. If he can keep that average, he wins it. Look at the age difference here, though. 26 for Morris, 45 for Schaefer. Thumbs up and thumbs up. It's race time. Equalizer with a hole shot. Barefoot, yes, Barefoot does it. Barefoot found what it took and takes out Equalizer 0.2 of a second ahead on the finish line. Barefoot replaced Equalizer as a world champion 2 years ago and has held on to that lead ever since. But this year, Equalizer's nipping at his heels.
You know, it's humiliating to think that I couldn't have pulled that one out in the clutches. Well, I've trained hard, held my ground, but obviously fate wasn't on my side today. Well, I won't get mad. I'll get even. And when I surface again, watch out, because the Equalizer will not take this loss lying down, baby.
Equalizer and Invader stage. These two trucks have met twice before this year, and Equalizer was victorious both times. Ray Perkowski drives Invader. He qualified 7th today. David Morris aboard the Equalizer was 3rd in qualifying. And now it's side-by-side racing in round number 1 for these two gladiators. The monster trucks capable of jumping 110 to 115 feet. That's 14 car widths. They're up waiting for the green light. Showtime. Invader with a hole shot, but Equalizer coming from behind. Invader just doesn't have the power. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer with a 3/4 second lead over Invader moves on to round 2. Your winner, Equalizer. The replay shows us two very important facts. Number 1, these monsters can jump high, very high. Check out Invader, 20 to 25 feet high. But going high doesn't win a race. It's how far you go. And when you're going up in the air, you're not going straight. That's how Equalizer took out Invader. The monsters are coming up for our next round of action between Invader, driven by Ray Perkowski out of St. Louis, Missouri, and David Morris aboard the Equalizer. Equalizer, 10,200 pounds, 1,300 horses. The truck was built in 1988. A brand new design Invader for 1993, 11,000 pounds, 1,300 horses. It's a Ford, but it's powered by a Chevrolet. You got to remember that the winners of round 2 move on. The other guys can load it up on the trailer. And Equalizer wants to be that winner today.
Invader, Invader, Invader! You know, warriors from your galaxy must have short memories. I destroyed you in our first confrontation, and now I'll be twice as strong. Surrender now. Even you must see that you are overmatched.
Shut up. I have had it with your primitive rhetoric. It is time to retaliate and avenge my setback from our first encounter.
These guys have met 3 times so far this year. Equalizer victorious all 3 times. But it's a different track, a different kind of racing, straight line racing. And here we go with Equalizer building up a lead. Invader just doesn't have the power to do it. Equalizer wins. Equalizer had it from the very first jump. Invader again, that problem of going too high, while Equalizer stays low, gets the power up to go over that second set of cars. David Morris has his truck operating perfectly. When they go over the cars just very lightly like that, they call that feathering the accelerator. And that's what David Morris did to win over Invader. In the finals in Anaheim, Equalizer, the truck that's been there 4 times this season, winning twice. And Tropical Thunder, driven by Wayne Smozanek, he has not been in the finals yet this season. Equalizer, 5.45 on average time. Tropical Thunder, 6.09. What a day it's been for Tropical Thunder. He took out the world champion barefoot in round number 1. In round number 2, he defeated the fastest qualifier, Taurus. But now he goes against Equalizer. They've met 3 times this year, and Equalizer has won all 3 times. Can Tropical Thunder make it 3 in a row? Let's find out. On the start, Tropical Thunder looks good, but he goes too high, and Equalizer is already at the finish line. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer ends Tropical Thunder's win streak here in Anaheim.
Well now, Tropical Thunder has been reduced to a harmless afternoon drizzle. Another feeble dweeble. Well, let's cut to the chase and get to the finals where I can battle a worthy opponent. The spotlight is mine, and the championship is my destiny!
We talked about feathering the throttle over the cars. That's what David Morris did on the start. Wayne Smozanek did not, and that cost him a win. You see, Equalizer handles perfectly. There's a perfect view of feathering just a little bit over the cars, and now you're down, you're speeding up, and you give it all you got on the finish line. It's time for the finals and the battle between Gravedigger and Equalizer. Gravedigger's the favorite, but Equalizer says today is my day.
Gravedigger, you are the last competitor that stands between me and my destiny. Well, there can be only one winner, and you have performed well to this point, but this is where I draw the line. Prepare to hold your head high as you rest in peace.
Don't push your morality on me, Equalizer. There is no one who performed better in the finals than me. Your destiny is to lose.
Gravedigger has been to the finals 6 times this season. He's lost only once. And now he wants to make it 5 wins. But he's got to get past the Equalizer with David Morris. These guys have met 3 times this season. Equalizer's won once. Gravedigger's been victorious twice. Equalizer got here by defeating Invader in round 1 and in round 2, and Tropical Thunder in the semis. Gravedigger took out Predator in round number 1, got a bye run in 2, and defeated Barefoot in the semis. And now we're down to just 2 trucks, Gravedigger and Equalizer. Who's going to win it? Let's watch and find out. Gravedigger with a hole shot. Equalizer has to battle back. He does! What a close one with Equalizer across the finish line first. Equalizer wins it. David Morris shows us that great driving style. And Equalizer defeats Gravedigger for our final.
All right. This is where I belong, at the top.
I hate good guys. Hero, in my book, you're still a 0. Enjoy your victory. It will be short-lived.
Hoo-yah! Well, what did I tell you? I'm the one to watch, and as my competitors are finding out, it takes a lot more than hot air to make me run out of steam.
David Morris taking a well-deserved rest on the front tires of Equalizer before he jumps down to greet his fans. Digger just may have gotten a little excited. That wild man reputation is evident here. He leaps over that first set of cars, doesn't have time to get any speed before he hits the second set. Meanwhile, David Morris and Equalizer kept his cool all day long. Picture-perfect runs up and over the tires easy. And now into the final leap. Equalizer does it. He's with Jim Davidson right now.
David, you've been tearing it up all night long here in Anaheim, and now you get the win over Gravedigger in the finals. Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, I had my mind set on that final race against Gravedigger there, just going all the way through the whole race, full throttle. That's what I did, and I knew that's what it'd take to win.
Well, you let it hang out. Tell me how it was from the starting line right through the finish.
Basically, like I said, Jim, you know, I had to just push the truck, just, you know, full throttle through the whole thing. I couldn't let up at all because, you know, when you're running Gravedigger, there's no telling what he's going to do when he races, so you got to do the same.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
This Monster War show is turning into a demolition derby as our next two contestants come up. David Morris, an Equalizer, qualified third today. Here's Rob Fuchs in First Blood. He qualified seventh. It's a Ford-Chevy matchup, with First Blood being the Ford. David Morris, known for keeping his cool and coming out victorious, has to do just that here. Don't go fast over that first set of cars or you'll launch like Tropical Thunder did. Let's see if First Blood can get a win against Equalizer.
Say your prayers, Equalizer! You skinny little letter opener! I'm gonna demolish you! The time has come for you to die! Hey, Spain Face! You aren't going to demolish anyone! Your reign of terror is history!
Honey, don't let this nocturnal cave dweller get to you, Pookie.
Not now, baby. Hello, Princess! What's your blood type, huh?
Go catch some rays at the beach, loser.
Yeah! Loser! Who are you calling loser? You little frickin' midget!
It's the first meeting of the season for Equalizer and First Blood. Up to the starting line, the green light. Equalizer with an incredible hole shot, almost a full second ahead of him. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer saw the green light. I'm not sure what First Blood was looking at, but he wasn't looking at the starting light. Equalizer won the race, but even he had some problems. The rear end comes up on him. He has to straighten it out before he goes across the finish line. Jim Davidson is with David Morris in the pits.
David, an easy win over Rob Fuchs in First Blood. Did it feel easy to you?
Yeah, you know, he got a tough truck, but I really didn't go all out. I felt like I had more horsepower than him, so, you know, when I get ready to go all out on the track, I'll really know what the truck's going to do then.
Tell me about the track. Straight line out there. Do you feel like they got good ramps coming in both sets of cars?
You know, the second jump down there seems like it's giving the trucks a lot of air, so I'm going to see what happens when I really hit it hard.
They're staging for that right now. This matchup between Invader and Equalizer. They've met 4 times this year, with Equalizer winning all 4 times. That matchup when Monster Wars continues.
Equalizer, your luck has finally run out. I'm on a mission of galactic proportions, and nothing will stand in the way of me completing my mission.
Ha ha! Nothing but me, you mean? Your insults have grown wearisome, Invader. Consider your mission canceled. This race belongs to the Equalizer. Get ready to self-destruct.
Self-destruct? Never! You will have to destroy me yourself. Let the battle begin!
The average car in America weighs about 2,000 pounds and has less than 100 horses. These monster trucks have almost 5 tons, 10,000 plus pounds, and 1,300 horses in the case of Equalizer, with 1,300 horses powering 11,000 pounds for Invader. How'd you like to have that come up behind you on the highway on your way home? On the track, they're awesome, and there goes Equalizer. Whoa, Invader, look at that! Invader! Invader comes from behind, and David Morris did not see. He was right behind him. Invader wins! What a win for Invader, with Equalizer getting a hole shot. Ray Furkowski stays low, gets traction, and powers up. A surprise win for Invader. You don't want to call this a monster truck race. This is more like a demolition derby. Equalizer going against Taurus in the final. This is the toughest track we have seen all year on Monster Wars.
You brute!
I ain't letting you out of my sights again. Dang, you sure are easy on the eyes. You want to dance, darling? Surprise come with that shake, sweetheart. Whoa, not so fast there, cowboy. The Ice Princess belongs to the Equalizer.
So why don't you step up to the starting line and pick on somebody your own size?
David Morris pulls Equalizer up to the starting line. His competition is Taurus. How did these two trucks make it to the finals? Well, the tough track has taken out everybody else. First of all, Equalizer defeated First Blood in round 1, was beaten by Invader in round 2, and didn't even go to the semis. And Taurus, well, he defeated Invader, then took out Tropical Thunder, but was beaten by Carolina Crusher in the finals. Basically, these are the fastest losers running in the final. On the start, Equalizer with a great hole shot. Taurus battles to make it back, but he can't do it. What a close race! 4.57 for Equalizer, 4.63 for Taurus. Taurus has trouble stopping. He makes it, though, but your winner is David Morris and the Equalizer. Your winner here in Minneapolis, David Morris driving Equalizer. You know, it takes more than just coming out here and racing fast. You got to hold your truck together. These guys both were out of the action, but were called to duty when other trucks broke. They gave us some of the fastest times and closest racing we've seen all day. David Morris drives Equalizer to a win. Jim's with him.
David, a hop, skip, and a jump, and there you are, the winner in Minneapolis. Tell me how things unfolded there. It's pretty confusing.
Well, you know, I was completely out of the race, you know, and I'm just tickled to death to be back in it now. You know, the other trucks were broke and they couldn't come back. So, you know, that kind of got me going there when I got to come back in the final race. So then you know, what have I got to lose? I'm just going to go for it.
Well, it's a long family tree. Barefoot couldn't make it. He stopped on the line. Invader couldn't come back. He broke against Barefoot in the semis. So there you are. You go ahead and jump 2 rounds and you're in the finals against Taurus, who's replacing Carolina Crusher. Something in the air here in Minneapolis.
I'll save it. You know, I'll take these wins however I can get them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next matchup features a truck from very close to Kentucky, the Equalizer.
Well, I'm feeling the urge to ascend, to transcend the self and step forward and stake claim to my one true destiny. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will stand in the way of my noble quest. Yeah.
Monster truck course in the country, Louisville Motor Speedway's Figure 8 course. The matchup between Carolina Crusher, Gary Porter aboard, and David Morris in the Equalizer. 3 times these trucks have met this season. Carolina Crusher has not been able to take out the Equalizer 1 time.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up, we're fitting to go.
This may be the time for him. Equalizer is using a backup engine for this race, and Carolina Crusher is quick out of the box. Toe-to-toe, they go around the turn. Equalizer with a slight lead, but he's on the inside. He has to go a shorter distance. Bouncing all over the course, they go over the cars. And now it's Carolina Crusher's turn on the inside. Equalizer takes a little wobble, goes wide. Carolina Crusher hangs in there. Crusher cannot hold on to the lead as Equalizer is catching up to him. As they come around to the finish line, who's it gonna be? Carolina Crusher! For the first time this season, Carolina Crusher defeats the Equalizer. It was very close going over the cars the first time, but then the final circle of this Figure 8 course, and Equalizer is on the outside. He has a much longer distance to go, and it looks as though he's going to catch up, and then starts to fade. Carolina Crusher takes full advantage of it and goes for the win. For the first time this season, Crusher takes out Equalizer.
I feel the urge to ascend. I feel the urge to transcend thyself. Somebody forgot to tell you that we're racing here. We're racing now. It was a tight race, but the Crusher always finishes tough.
The tire's 5.5 feet tall, the driver almost 12 feet high as Alan Pizzo brings Predator out when Monster Wars return.
I'm prepared for a cat fight. I will moon Equalizer when he sees my rear end. Hey, cats, it's showtime.
Well, you know, pussycat, I'm at my best when my back is up against the wall. Save your little mind games for another competitor. I love pressure, and there is no escape.
Thumbs up from David Morris in the Equalizer going against Predator. We told you about that X being 2 feet wide. If you notice, Predator actually moved a little bit before he got the green light, but it didn't show up because of the width of that starting line. Equalizer running extremely strong considering the fact this is a backup engine and they didn't expect much out of it. This guy's doing a great job. Predator has to play catch-up now. He's on the inside track, but I don't think anybody can catch Equalizer. David Morris has this thing dialed in. He's got the track figured out. Going into the final turn, it is all Equalizer. A 2-second lead as Equalizer smokes Predator. The replay shows Equalizer with a little wobble. He goes on the inside of the track, but he corrects that. And a very, very tough landing for Predator. That's all she wrote for that truck. Equalizer wins it. He moves on to the semifinals here at Louisville Motor Speedway.
Oh, yeah! The Equalizer has once again survived another test of strength and endurance. But my journey is far from over. Bring on the next pretender!
Semi-final action really is a rematch of round number 1 again. This matchup between Equalizer and Carolina Crusher. Remember earlier, Carolina Crusher, driven by Gary Porter, defeated Equalizer for the first time this season. Equalizer a little heavier, a little less powered, but equally as strong as Carolina Crusher on a turning course. Can Carolina Crusher make it 2 in a row?
Equalizer! You are the only fool standing between me and the finals. It's a tough world, Iceman. Takes courage to stand up to me. I'm on a roll, and I'm not about to stop for a coward like you.
A coward? Coward is not even in my vocabulary. I never back down from a challenge. The road to the finals goes through me, baby. So prepare to be derailed, Crusher!
As we prepare for the semis, let's go inside Crusher and Gary Porter.
All right, let's go get him, boy.
He waits for the green light. Equalizer stage, Crusher stage on the start. Both look good. Equalizer with a slight lead. He's on the inside. He cuts it very, very short. Carolina Crusher battles back. Equalizer takes a bad hop. He's all over the place. And now they go into the set of cars. Where's Equalizer going? His rear end spun around. And Carolina Crusher is on the inside lane. If he can hold on, I think he can take out Equalizer. Side by side, they come into it. Look at Equalizer go. Can he hold on? No! It's all Crusher. Carolina Crusher defeats Equalizer for the second time today. He's in the finals against Barefoot. Equalizer fell victim to the hard asphalt here at Louisville. A tough bounce. He's all over the track. The rear end almost comes around on him. He's just not used to driving here. Tropical Thunder now going up against Equalizer. Neither of these guys have crashed yet this season. Let's hope they can keep it free today. Tropical Thunder is driven by Wayne Smolzanek. He qualified 8th today. And David Morris aboard the Equalizer, our 3rd fastest qualifier. Morris has been complaining of engine problems here in Pueblo.
All right, now listen up. I'm a little bit upset today, so Tropical Thunder, stay out of my way. You see, I've been getting some disturbing fan mail. Let me read you a couple of them. Well, here's one. Dear EQ, that's me. Please don't keep going and going and going. Signed, First Blood. Or how about this one? Equalizer. Your fashion stinks. Signed, Predator. Pretty funny from a guy with cat scratch fever and a bad hair day, huh? Well, go ahead and keep on writing in, losers, because I'm writing everyone off.
We're staged. Equalizer is 4-0 against Tropical Thunder this season. Can Thunder do it today? They start head-to-head, and now Equalizer starts to open it up. No way as Equalizer wins it again. Equalizer with the 5th win of the season against Tropical Thunder. Equalizer, Tropical Thunder looking very strong on the start, and then Equalizer opens it up during no man's land, gets lots of air, and a full 1-truck length lead over Tropical Thunder at the end. Jim Davidson's with our winner.
David, a nice run going up against Tropical Thunder. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I tried to go hard over the first set of cars there and see how it was going to work out. And I had good control on the other end, so it worked out great.
Well, I know you've been keeping your fingers crossed about a couple things back here. What's going on with the Equalizer monster truck?
I'm not sure. I got a motor problem. I've either got an oil galley plug or something that's back vibrated loose. I'm losing oil pressure bad, and when I get to the end of the run, I actually have no oil pressure.
As far as the rest of today is concerned, you're going to be able to make it with that?
Well, until it quits, I'll be out there running.
And now Ray Burkowski has a chance to win at doing what he loves to do, racing his monster truck as he goes against David Morris aboard Equalizer.
Never mind all that lousy fan mail. I taught Tropical Thunder a lethal lesson today. So I guess that makes me a teaching professor. A professor of pain. Yeah!
Pain? The only thing I want to hear from you today is you begging for your pathetic life. I already made trouble out of Troublemaker, and now I'll rock your world!
Hey, Invader, could you please raise your hand if you want to say something while I'm teaching my class? Yeah.
Equalizer and Invader start off round number 2. And although they have met 4 times this year, with Equalizer winning 3 of those 4, that doesn't tell all the tale. Invader gets better and better. He defeated Equalizer last time these two guys met in a second round. And now, can David Morris, who's admittedly having oil pressure problems, take out Invader? On the start, they look pretty even. Equalizer powers up. Equalizer, where did he get the speed? He takes out Invader easily. And Equalizer proves that he still has a lot left.
Oh, yeah! My crash course on winning obviously didn't penetrate Invader's thick skull. But as we all know, when the noble truth is spoken, you have no choice but to listen. Metalhead, you're dead, baby. Teacher always knows best. Yeah!
The replay shows the problems with Invader. A lot of bounce off the first set of cars. He was out of shape as he approached the second set and went sideways. Equalizer smooth sailing. Who will face Gravedigger in the finals? It may be Equalizer. He's got to come out and go past the world champion Fred Schaefer in the Barefoot Dodge. Both trucks no strangers to this track here in Pueblo. Fred Schaefer aboard Barefoot checks to make sure everything's all right. Equalizer driven by David Morris, the average time 5.14 seconds on this track to Barefoot's 5.36 seconds. Equalizer quite a bit faster than Barefoot so far today. And the question on everybody's mind is, can Barefoot defeat Equalizer?
Well, now, I'm the ultimate professor. I teach by example, and Barefoot, I'm gonna teach you a lesson in life and death when you show up. Be prepared to fail! And by the way, bring me an apple. Yeah!
They come to the line, Equalizer and Barefoot. Chevy against Dodge, the world champion against the former world champion. And Morris would love to have that title back. Wait for the green light, they rev up. A hole shot for Barefoot. He pops a wheelie in no man's land. A wheelie down the track for Barefoot, and he wins it. An incredible run for the world champion. And David Morris just didn't have a prayer. Dodge took it down the track. Your winner, Barefoot, with a wheelie. Watch this. He powers up, and the front tires never touch the dirt till the finish line. That's not racing, that's flying for Barefoot. From the front, let's see what a wheelie looks like. Nothing but clear Colorado sky. And Equalizer is out for the day.
Holy guacamole! Barefoot really blew my mind and passed this professor up. But I gotta give him credit. He put on one heck of a show. Too bad his cockiness will eventually get him into trouble, because class hotshots
always finish last.
We continue with action on the track. David Morris comes out. Our first look at him in the Monster World Finals. He's aboard Equalizer.
You know, it seems like being a hero alone isn't getting me a date on Friday night. All those airhead rock and roller types are having all the fun. I don't get it. Well, this is my new image. Yeah. Now, I'll let you know how it works out. But before I tear up the nightlife, I first gotta tear up the track.
World Finals. This matchup between Invader and Equalizer.
Ooh, you make us weepy. Ooh.
Well, all right, it worked. I changed my image, and the sky's the limit, baby. Now the only thing stopping me from hitting the nightclub scene is you, Invader, you little space junkie.
Ooh.
Whoa, yeah!
If you looked as foolish as that in my galaxy, they'd bury you on the dark side of the moon. You're pathetic. Having an identity crisis at your age is embarrassing. Come on, Mr. Multiple Personality. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, Invader! Well, you're just jealous because you can't boogie in all that armor. Staying alive! Come on, ladies, let's boogie! Yeah!
6 times these trucks have met this year. 5 times Equalizer has been victorious. Invader is driven by Ray Perkowski, qualified 8th today. 3rd in qualifying was the Equalizer with David Morris aboard. Early on in the season, when they raced for the first time, Invader rolled over. That's played heavy on Ray Perkowski's mind all year long. From inside the cab of Equalizer, David Morris taking a tough bounce. Whoa, he bounces all over the cab of that truck and wins the race. 4.50 seconds to Invader's 5.53. The replay shows Equalizer's hole shot of at least a half second. All season long, we talked about how important it was to get off the starting line right. Equalizer gets that win because of that hole shot. Ray Perkowski, well, he waited till Equalizer moved before he started, and that was his problem. He was not looking at the light. A good run, other than the fact he was just too slow for Equalizer. Equalizer heads back to the pits. He'll be back in round number 2.
You know what? Disco sucks! Ladies, I won this one for you!
Oh, easy!
Oh, yeah! Let's rock, baby!
Two monsters are already coming to the starting line. This matchup between David Morris, piloting the Equalizer, and Eldon Depew aboard Jack Willman's incredible truck, Taurus.
Equalizer, I hope you're not too tired from boogieing the night away to face me, because I'll drop you in a tombstone minute. Better lose that guitar, because I'm going to drive you right into the dirt.
War World Championships in Pontiac Silverdome. Great place to have this thing. This is where monster trucking first started indoors way back in 1981. Of course, then they just crushed cars and didn't really race. But we are racing now, make no mistake about it. And Eldon Depew aboard Taurus, one of the toughest competitors on the circuit, the 10,000-pound Chevy-powered Taurus, going against the equally impressive Equalizer, 10,200 pounds, 1,300 horses for Equalizer. Both these trucks are Chevy-powered. And now the showdown between Equalizer and Taurus.
Woo! Well, who's that I see in that out-of-date cowboy hat? Is it Taurus, Daddy-O? Well, I made it become a rocker and maybe even look cooler, but I can still give you double trouble. Hey, by the way, last night I learned the achy breaky heart. So watch as I El Kabong you in 2.
Better boogie till you drop, icky baby, because I'm dropping you like a doggone hot potato. Gag me with a 38, you make me puke. Let's get it on, little equal miser. You want to dance? Then dance. I said dance, boogeyman.
As he stays, let's go up inside the cockpit of Equalizer with David Morris for the start of this race. Power up, green light. Oh, could you feel the landing? Equalizer wins it. Watch out for the wall, David.
What the hell we done at that time? I believe we took that win.
I believe you did too, David. Why don't we see it one more time? On the start, it was Taurus, and then Equalizer plants firmly down and soars on to victory. Now it's time for the big boys, and when Monster Wars returns, the battle between Equalizer and Barefoot. Our semi-final action about to begin. Barefoot goes against Equalizer.
Well, all right. All this music is getting the Equalizer revved up. Now all I gotta do is juke Barefoot, and the gals and I are gonna be partying until dawn, yeah!
The two trucks in the semifinals, Barefoot and Equalizer, have raced all year long. 9 times they've met. Barefoot's been victorious 6 of those. Equalizer, David Morris, average time 4.28 seconds on this track. Fred Schaefer's taken Barefoot to an average time of 4.36. Equalizer actually faster. On the start, Equalizer with a hole shot. Can Barefoot catch up? Yes, just barely. Just barely. Barefoot by 0.03 of a second defeats Equalizer. An incredible win for the world champion, Barefoot Dodge.
Oh, shucks. Barefoot seemed to tiptoe right on past me, but hey, I'm still more fabulous than ever, and hey, I still got the babes. All Barefoot's got is a win, and well, no babes. Well, I'm out in the town. Dude, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Yeah!
The picture on the finish line tells the tale. Barefoot, your